Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary O'Connor with the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. Thank you to Alaska Public Media, and thank you for watching Hangar Flying. This evening, we are excited to have David Karalunas back on Hangar Flying to talk about something other than his day job. David, thank you for being here. We're going to talk about your volunteering as an aviation humanitarian worker, and we understand that you've had some interesting experiences, but you've also had a very high point in your volunteering activities. You want to tell us about that?
Sure. Well, I grew up volunteering. My mom started the Blood Bank of Alaska, actually, before I was born, and so I've always volunteered my whole life. But I ended up getting involved with a flying club, Arctic Flying Club in Fairbanks, and ultimately became a board member, and that's how I met my wife. So that was certainly the high point of my aviation volunteering.
And definitely a benefit that you probably didn't count on.
Definitely.
So we're interested in your involvement with AirServe. I worked with them during some disaster relief activities in a prior life and have also been a passenger with them. Who are they and what do they do?
Well, AirServe is a humanitarian aviation organization that specializes in the last mile of aid. So they work with the World Food Program, USAID, delivering things that governments or others donate to get to that last step to the actual end user. They support under contract Doctors Without Borders. They supported the election that led to the creation of South Sudan. A lot of things around the world, the disasters in Haiti and other places. So a lot of really good work.
What type of aircraft do they fly?
Well, they've flown a great variety of things over the years, but right now they have an all-Caravan, Cessna Caravan fleet operating out of Entebbe in Uganda.
And what did you do with them?
Well, also through Arctic Flying Club, I met Dave Karlstrom, who became the CEO of AirServe International, which is a U.S.-based company, and they owned AirServe Limited, which is the kind of a U.S. air taxi equivalent based at Entebbe. And he'd been after me for years to go over there and help out with their maintenance department and safety management generally, and finally convinced me to spend a month over there where I worked for 40 hours a week for 4 weeks and did a very extensive audit of the company, job shadowed folks, including in operations, and made recommendations on how to improve their operation.
And you've also got a background in maintenance. Did you find that helpful for your work with AirServe?
Actually, my career has been in maintenance, even though I'm a commercial land, sea instrument pilot. I've always worked in the maintenance field or quality control. So yeah, that was my primary focus. But I did get to fly a little bit with them to sea and outstation. Went to Democratic Republic of the Congo and certainly helped out a lot with day-to-day stuff throughout the company.
Would you have any advice for somebody who's looking for that kind of excitement, whether they're a pilot or involved in airport management or a mechanic?
I would. I mean, growing up as a volunteer, it's one of the most fulfilling and rewarding things that you can do, no matter what the field. Aviation has a lot of volunteering opportunities, and if you're passionate about aviation, it just brings those two wonderful experiences together into one. So I'd highly recommend looking at operations like AirServe. There are several religious affiliated aviation organizations. There's Angel Flight and others that transport patients, or there's pet rescue versions of that. There's just a lot of opportunities out there, and even flying clubs, starting or participating in your local flying club or your EAA chapter or Aviation Support Network with AOPA. Lots of chances to volunteer. So
that would be both internationally as well as nationally?
Certainly, and obviously close to home is easier, but some of the international locations really have a lot of unmet need, and it's very fulfilling to help support that.
Had you traveled internationally before you volunteered with this organization?
I have. I'd been to about 15 countries beforehand, but never to Africa, and it was a phenomenal experience, and we can't wait to go back. In fact, as a retirement job, I could definitely see going back over there, which a lot of folks do. There were several retirees, military and civilian retirees over there, continuing to do the same kind of work, but for humanitarian purposes, and really was an energizing environment to be a part of.
That sounds like a great way to give back when you have the time and also use a lot of the skills that you've developed during your career.
It certainly is, Mary.
Thank you so much for being here with us, David. We've taken up a lot of your time and we really appreciate your interesting side gig, and we wish you lots of luck with that after retirement.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching Hangar Flying. We hope that you've been inspired and educated. Until next time, fly safely.